Hey guys, Connor here. Just sorry for any technical difficulties. There's also background noises and stuff. It was weird this week. I had to use a different comic reader, Comixology, which I don't like on the laptop because my physical copy got delayed. So yeah. But anyway, enjoy the episode and sorry again.
Tell me, though, what's his technique? That last strike, it seems invincible.
Hello and welcome to Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist podcast. My name is Connor McKenna,
And I'm Carl Stout.
and it's just us two here, back old school because Rebecca is sick, or feeling sick, so hopefully she gets better, and Omar is working. So, I'm getting a doctor's slip from both of them though, but you can trust them. So yeah, it's just Carl and I talking about Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon 3. But first off, before we start, I want to thank our patrons. Carl, different Carl, no, the same Carl, and Ray as well from, every podcast you ever listen to, Ray's probably guested on at some point. So yeah, big thanks there. And also, I want to do a shout out to Tombs of Evil podcast, so a new podcast just about villains, which is pretty cool. And I was on there last night for Davos, the Steel Serpent, and that was a lot of fun. So that'll be up probably before this. I'll put a link in the show notes. But yeah, and, we talked about I think everything Davos except for that 2-issue series in the 90s. So I mentioned it, but I didn't get him to read it because to be fair, he read the 2 issues. We did the 2 issues of Marvel Team Up, Immortal Iron Fist, and The Living Weapon. So that was a lot to read, and I just didn't want to throw in those 2 issues as well. Again, they're not important, really. I've summarized them as Davos comes back from a crystal or something, takes over Kunlun for a day, and then,
It's punched in the face.
yeah, pretty much. Just footnote, really. We talked about live action Davos as well, because he was quite good. Yeah.
A little bit of oil shurikens.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, it's just I'm just impressed because he's so short, but like he's still able to pull off like an intimidating kind of fighter, and I think that'd be quite difficult unless he was wearing like heels or something. But
Now we're talking about the actor, correct?
yes,
Okay.
yeah. No, the character is a brick shit house in the comics.
Yes, he's small in frame.
Yeah. So yeah, Iron Fist Heart of the Dragon 3. So after that second issue, I'm just hanging out for these. I was really hanging out for this one. But then there's not much to talk about here. So I'll go through the credits, which are going to be the same as usual. But
This is definitely what we would call filler.
which is really weird to me. But let's see. So, why does a 6-issue series need filler? Okay, so writer is obviously Larry Hama. Penciler is David Wachter. Cover artist is Billy Tan. And I mean, yeah, that's all you need to know. I guess that's all the information I can find. I guess there'll be more in the issue. But yeah, this cover, I mean, weakest cover so far, I think.
It's still nice.
I guess it's just like the dragon doesn't really look like a Kunlun dragon though. It looks like Smaug. And it's a cool pose she's got up there. This Black Panther lady. Can't remember her name, but it's like no one related to Iron Fist is on the cover.
No.
Which
And what happens on the cover, of course, doesn't
Yeah.
happen in the issue.
yeah, absolutely doesn't happen. So yeah, I didn't really like the cover, to be honest, and I think the
Now,
font, the
What did
red.
you think of the variant?
I get what they're
Kinky-
going
kinky
for.
cover.
I get what they're going for, but I don't think it's great either. If I had to choose, I'd probably get the variant because it has Iron Fist on it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't like the font color, the red on this one. Just I don't know, it just looks ugly. Like, but going to the next page. So Niraj Menon is the color artist as well, and VC's Travis Lanham is the letterer. And Lena Jin is also, I think that might be the variant cover. No, wait, Billy Tan and Lena Jin is just cover artist. Jeffrey Vergey is the variant cover artist. Probably mispronounced.
That's all right.
So we pick up right where we left off, outside of the hidden city. Pei's holding a giant sword. They're blocking the door with like the bodies of the zombies.
Without their heads.
Yes. Yeah, they've chopped off all their heads. So Daddy's all team leader here. He's assigned Fat Cobra and Dog Brother to stay behind and guard the gate. And Luke, the Bright and Nine Spiders, and Fu are going with Danny to Earth. Where's Pei going? It doesn't say where Pei's going, but yeah. So
Pei stays with them.
we get like the artwork's really great.
The artwork is outstanding.
Yeah, like the shot of the Philippines is gorgeous.
And he's getting the nose better every issue.
Yeah.
On Iron Fist.
Yeah.
Because the first issue he pretty much was flat faced.
Yeah.
The mask was just so taut he had no nose bump at all in some shots.
But he has a pronounced nose now. So cities are popping up, obviously still. So they've gone to the Philippines. So Kunzi's popped up in Tokyo, and another one's popped up in Rio. So Bright and Iron Spiders is going to Wakanda, where Zagamba has materialized. I believe Danny's going to Tokyo, and Luke Cage is going to Brazil. And I think Fu might be staying in the Philippines. I can't really remember. Like, to be honest, guys, like, we're going to go through the issue, but the plot is literally like they all go to a city and fight a bit.
Oh,
and that
dead soldiers.
Yeah, and that
while talking to the superhero or hero of that area.
Yeah.
And then other stuff happens until the big money shot, which is the final page.
Yeah, but you know what? Cool that it's not localized to New York or even America. It's all over the world, which I like.
Now, before they split off, or actually right after they split off, the team that stays behind, Pei, Fu, and
it's Fu's gone with Danny. It's Pei, Fat Cobra, and Dog Brother.
Well, they notice again. I think it was seen before, but again, it makes an appearance on the top of the building that is housing the gate for the hidden city. The hidden dragon is no longer hidden, and we see its silhouette.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I wish they would just call it the Eighth City, because that's what it is. So it just makes it a bit confusing. But
well, maybe it's like the 13th floor in the building. You really can't call it the 13th floor. So
yeah, that's true. Maybe
8 has some bad thing attached to it, so it's just hidden.
Yeah. Good point. Yeah, so be interesting to see what the deal with the hidden dragon is. If it's evil, or maybe it's probably not the boss, but.
And it does bring up a question, since you're not in America. Do they pull that same crap in buildings in Australia?
What do you mean?
There's no 13th floor.
Oh, no, I don't think so.
So you actually have 13 floors.
Wait, you guys don't?
No, they skipped the number 13.
That's actually a thing? I thought that was just something they did in the movies, like horror movies.
No, that's an actual thing.
Oh, right. I mean, there's 13 floors here as far as I know. Like, I mean, I've never really paid attention, to be honest.
I expect to report back next podcast.
Well, I mean, I'm curious now, but I'm sure I would have noticed if there was no 13th floor. But, yeah. So, we go to Tokyo, and we have Radiance, who I've seen before, but I can't remember what in.
See, I haven't. She was new to me. I'm just like, who's this? But apparently, it sounds like she is somehow related to Sunfire,
Maybe it's Sunfire I saw.
the X-Men.
Oh,
So maybe Radiant is his daughter.
she first appeared in 2014, so she's new. And she's only appeared in 6 issues. Okay, maybe I haven't seen her. So she was in All New Invaders 15, 6, 11, 7, 14, and then she was in an issue of Fantastic Four. And I guess now Iron Fist, so...
I wonder if you know who created her.
I'll look it up. Let's see. She's the granddaughter of World War II superhero Golden Woman, who I've never heard of.
Nope.
Creators James Robinson and Mark Lamming.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, she's there, like, she's, not happy because there's a lot of the zombies are coming too fast. And I like how she has, like, this crowd with signs.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh, we love you, yay, while all this mayhem's going on. And then we have a dragon. And, the city's floating above Tokyo. It looks pretty cool. It's, again, the artwork's really great. So Danny shows up. And
apologizes. This
Yeah.
is kind of my fault, I'm sorry.
And we actually get a reference to Iron Fist and Wolverine, Return of Kunlun, which I thought would never ever get referenced.
We were hoping anyways.
Well, I mean, I like it. It's like, oh, they're actually acknowledging continuity because this exact same thing happened in that. Like, Kunlun appeared in Tokyo, and all the 4 Dragon Kings are running around everywhere. So yeah, she tells Danny she's heard about him from Sunfire, who was in Tokyo in that storyline. And she's like, why shouldn't I kill that dragon? And then, Danny says, simply put, the dragons are essential for the preservation of the cosmic balance. They are the repositories of the intrinsic chi. Something bad happens if they're destroyed? Exactly. And she's like, I won't kill the dragon. And Danny helps her with the ninjas in exchange. And this scene pretty much plays out in all the other cities. So we have Sunspot in Rio de Janeiro, and working with Luke Cage, and they're getting along because I don't know, like he just likes how Luke Cage just can rip these things apart and stuff. He thinks it's cool, and Luke thinks it's cool how he burns things up.
Turns them into charcoal briquettes.
And then we go to Wakanda with this lady leading the Royal Guard, who I forget her name. And she's got like a bunch of, well, do you remember her name? Because I don't.
I don't have the issue in front of me, but it's the same woman from the
Yes,
movie.
I should. Oh, is she a movie character? Is she?
Yes.
Right.
His head bodyguard there. I want to say it's like Anya or something. Don't you have it in front of you?
Yeah, it doesn't. They're not calling her name though. So.
Yeah, when she's reporting back to the office, I could have sworn.
Oh, it's in her name's in the previous issue. I just can't see it yet because I'm on Comixology. So Comixology is trash and hard to.
Sorry for forgetting her name, but I'm old.
Yeah. She was one in the last issue as well.
But she's heading up the elite guard.
Where is T'Challa?
He's off-site. He could be off-world. And she's heading up the elite guard, and they're actually in all white Black Panther costumes.
Yeah.
And in the comics for a while, Bucky was actually in charge of them, I believe.
That's strange. So, the cities there...
That was the little shout-out to them at the end of the movie where they give him his cybernetic arm. You know, they show up and he's like, is hanging out.
Yep.
They call him like the White Wolf or something.
Right.
And that's what he was called in the comics when he led the guard.
Okay, that's neat. So we have Bright Eyed Spiders who is trying to persuade her to not kill the dragon.
Again, same excuse. You kill the dragon, bad stuff happens, and in return, she will help with. Not even help. She just handles the zombies.
Yeah, her collar shoots out. For FYI listeners, I did reread Immortal Iron Fist and Living Weapons, so now my memory is up to scratch with these immortal weapons. But yeah, she shoots out her collar, impales like those dudes, and then she spits like thousands of spiders out of her mouth. These spiders, they can take out everything, you know.
Apparently, she's like the plague.
Like it doesn't matter if you're undead. You know, these spiders. We've had Dog Brothers fallen victim to these spiders, and we've had Midnight Sun, who was like, you know, Shang-Chi's rival, so he's not a pushover. But yeah, you know, next time I do some sparring, I'll just bring like a bucket of spiders with me and throw them at the other person. And
that always works no matter what.
Yeah, spider food. So then we get this. So this isn't a. Did you recognize this? This is a new person, right?
I have no clue who this is, other than they look sick.
Yeah, I mean, I got very like kind of Death Horseman of the Apocalypse vibes, because it's a white rotting horse with this person all dressed in white, covered in blood, and a giant like hand scythe riding it, and they just come in and
one swoop, take the dragon's head off.
Yeah.
And then come back and rip the heart out.
Yeah. You know, and you know this. They call
it almost looks like Pedro from the original White Tiger.
Yeah.
They brought him back from the dead or something.
I have an idea of who it is, but I guess we'll get, you know, they say you are a magnificent creature and an object of veneration to many, but to me you are merely a beast that must be butchered. I felt bad for the dragon because they're not evil. Like they're just like they'll eat stuff, but they're like these holy sort of you know, I mean, they're literally the sacred cows of their respective cities.
Yep.
You know, dragons don't have a good time, you know, because I guess I just read Living Weapon and get to see a decapitated Xiao Lao in that, so... But yeah, this person means business. 3 elite guards go to take him or her on, and they just like take out the guards with one swipe. And then the captain of the guard, she follows this person through a portal.
I thought she just followed him into the city.
No, yes, yeah, you're right. You're completely right. It's Fu's hand comes out of the portal and says Bright and Iron Spiders is needed back at the gate. Because the bride's about to follow as well. And then we have... So he's shown up, conspicuously absent, Prince of Orphans. And he's looking beat up.
Yeah, he's looking a little rough there.
And if he's gotten beat up, then... You know, because he's overpowered. Like, in comparison to the rest of the Immortal weapons anyway. Like, we all wanted that tournament in Immortal to keep going, but he totally would have won that pretty easily. So basically, he says, you are no match for that one. And then we get, you know, let's see. That slayer of dragons, that vessel of unthinkable chi, one who has been granted unspeakable powers to an evil end. That confrontation would be your death. I'm called Prince of Orphans. I can see that you're a hero, and they are on space. Blah 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 blah. You know, he says there's a bigger picture and you may be a part of it. We all must play the long game if we are to overcome the ultimate evil and preserve the way of heaven. And he tells her she has to enter the heart of heaven. So no idea what's going on there. I guess we'll find out next issue. Went back to Tokyo, and Fu...
Yeah, pops up his portal saying, Danny, you need to come to me.
Yeah, we have the opportunity to cut off the supply at the source, but Danny needs to go back to the Citadel. So Radiant says she can handle whatever comes next, because, you know, they've taken out most of the stuff. Then we go back to Rio. Like, all of these are all, like, full pages and stuff, and the artwork looks gorgeous, but this could have been one page of Fu, just, like, a different panel for a different city and Fu taking them back. You know, so Luke Cage goes back, and I get the Citadel of the Hidden City, big dragon there, and what's that red group dripping down from the top? Blood, and then the issue ends. So
what I'm gathering from this is because if you notice when you first saw the silhouette of the hidden dragon, like 1 or 2 issues ago, in the beginning of this issue, and what it looks like now, and with blood, I think they're feeding their dragon the hearts of the other dragons.
yeah, and I think its appearance changes a little bit as well. I'm trying to...
Oh yeah, it completely changes, because it goes from this like spidery looking thing with like just finger bones for wings to this big huge monolith dragon with a Godzilla from the 1990s movies, or the year 2000 movie with Matthew Broderick's head with multiple eyeballs.
Yeah. So I guess what happens is they go to this issue is just they go to the different cities, fight some zombies, have the same conversation, and then get pulled back into the thing. The only real development is that dragon dies, and you know, the Prince of Orphans shows up. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of this stuff with the cities, like, it really could have been condensed quite easily. Like, you could have had big panels showing the fight in each city without 2 or 3 pages dedicated to them, when, like, nothing was really happening. So
this is without a doubt, unfortunately, just a filler issue.
Yeah,
with only like honestly 4 pages that matter.
Yeah. Most of the pages are just.
And before we started recording, you brought up why would you need a filler issue on a 6-issue mini, and it's what makes a $15 graphic novel a $20 graphic novel. Right.
Yeah. Because, yeah, like, and they've finished this series. The art and writing is done for the last issue. So, we got 3 issues left, though. First 2, great. This one, you know, and I was hoping to see, like, more martial arts characters as well pop up.
Well, it still looks fantastic.
Oh, yeah, the artwork's fantastic.
Colors are great. Art's great.
Yeah, colors, art, great. I mean, the writing's fine in terms of, like, characterizations and dialogue. Like, that's fine. You know, it's just a bit disappointing because, like, we waited a long time. You know, we waited a whole month for this. Like, I jumped the gun last week. I was like, oh, yeah, the new issue's out this week. And then Omar's like, no, it's next week. So, yeah.
Well, just so you know, 4/14 is the next one.
Okay, that's let's see. Right, yeah, 1, 2, okay, yeah. Good. Well, any final thoughts of that issue, Carl?
Well, I'm more excited to see what happens next, because I wasn't too thrilled with what happened now.
Yeah, and the cover for the next one's done by Kerry Andrews. It's a really good cover.
Well, unfortunately, that's the variant, so hopefully...
Is it? Oh.
We can get our... I'm pretty sure...
Oh, you're right, yeah. Well,
hopefully I can get my hands on one.
The non-variant's good as well. Like, creepy, weird spider thing up top. Hopefully they go to the Spider City. That would be cool. But, yeah, so... Yeah, I think I covered everything while I was talking about it. So there will be an episode, hopefully, in between. We're going to have some people from a couple of Daredevil podcasts to cover Daredevil 178, which features Power Man and Iron Fist in it, from the era we've been covering. So that'll be fun.
All right, I got a Daredevil question for you.
Yep, shoot.
So, what issue is technically the first appearance of Lady Daredevil?
Oh, I'm not reading the new stuff.
Oh.
Yeah, I haven't. I
You hypocrite.
No, I've told everyone heaps of times, like, you know, when Chucky Saul did his bullcrap, I stopped reading New Daredevil. That has extended to Chip Zdarsky as well. So I am reading old Daredevil though. But yeah.
Well, there's only those issues, so you'll be good for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I guess until next time. So hopefully a couple of weeks. Until then, may, you know...
Your portal keep you out of the 8th hidden city.
Yes. Oh, actually, one more thing. I reckon the Scythe person might be Miranda. Maybe.
You think so?
Because we see someone dressed in white with blonde hair who's a female on a future cover. I'll have to look at that cover again, but I just think maybe it is her. I don't know.
But didn't they leak they're bringing someone else into this issue or into this series, and we haven't seen that person yet?
I don't remember the leak.
Mantis.
Oh. Well, that's not very exciting. But I'm looking at issue 5, and it looks like that's Miranda, but it doesn't look like it's the same get-up as the Scythe person. So, or it could be Brenda. I don't know why Carrie Andrews, like, I love Living Weapon, but why do you introduce another blonde female martial artist? You know, we already have 2. Oh, actually, Joy's not a martial artist, but still very similar, both.
You don't know. She could be now. She could have been in training this whole time.
Well, she hasn't been around since that Power Man and Iron Fist series in 2011, I think. I read that recently, and you know, her and Danny were sleeping together, and then she's just disappeared, it's so weird, like, because she was in the TV show as well, like she's a big part of Danny's backstory, but then she barely pops up.
Well, when you're richer than Batman, you can make that happen.
Well, I don't think he's richer than Batman.
No, he is.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
He's not now, though, because he doesn't have his company.
I don't know what's going on now. But
Yeah.
At one point, when he inherited everything, he did technically have more money than Batman. I think technically he was, for a short period of time, the richest person in Marvel.
I find that very hard to swallow.
Why?
Well, because they've never done anything with that. He's never really, like, he seemed rich, sure, but he's never seemed Tony Stark rich, you know?
Well, he never grew up rich, so he doesn't care.
Yeah, true.
And he was giving all his money away to charities.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. That's what he was doing at the end of Immortal that got trashed. I don't know. It's like, we need a 12-issue Iron Fist series just to tie everything together. And anyway.
Also, was the, what was the series? When he was in the Defenders reboot for a while?
Oh, the Bendis one?
He was the one supplying all the tech because his company was paying for it all.
Oh, well, Bendis ignoring continuity is, you know, nothing new. It's like when the UT miraculously...
Spider-Woman tattoo on his side.
All right, well...
If you don't know what we're talking about, just be glad.
Yeah. But I think that's it, right? So
that's enough. We've made the listeners suffer enough.
Yeah. Well, short episode, just this short issue. So until next time, yeah. What Carl said earlier, and all that stuff. Peace.
Adios.
Iron Fist and all other characters in these comics are properties of Marvel and Disney.
Any music or images we use belong to their respective copyright holders. We do this for fun, so please don't sue us. You can contact us at sonsofthedragonpodcast@gmail.com. Just send us mail, comments, thoughts, anything you want really. It doesn't even have to be related to Iron Fist. If you don't want it read on the air though, make sure you mention that. You can also find us on Facebook, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast, Sons of the Dragon. Our Twitter, at Iron Fist Podcast. Our SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/Sons of the Dragon, hyphens where the spaces are. Our YouTube, Connor Carl. Just search Iron Fist Podcast and you'll find us real quick. We are also on iTunes. If you find us there, give us a review and rate us. If it's less than 5 stars, please say why so we can improve the show. And we're on Podcast Garden in the literature section, and last but not least, head over to our WordPress, Sons of the Dragon, the Immortal Iron Fist Podcast.wordpress.com. That's where I put all the show notes. I'd like to thank Thomas Tissot for composing the Iron Fist theme song we use at the start of our Iron Fist episodes on the podcast. I'd also like to thank Peter John Sikorsky for composing the Power Man and Iron Fist theme we use at the start of our Power Man and Iron Fist episodes. And finally, thanks to you guys for listening.